Thank you for this warm welcome. And I have to say it is a pleasure and honor for me giving this keynote and hopefully, let's say, with some statements, setting the themes for hopefully fruitful and interesting discussions which follow then after. Setting the scenes is already, that I'm standing here, I think is a strong statement for Deutsche Telekom, because I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer and I have a responsibility for a business unit at the European institutions. I would say 2 years ago, it would not have been me standing here. It would have been our quantum physicist Felix Wissel sitting there. There you see already it has changed a little bit over the time. And I would say today we are not any longer in the research, in scientists, academics. We are on our way to a product. We are on our way, let's say, to business. And I said to myself, when I was the first time confronted with quantum, it's now, let's say, around about 10 years ago, I said, why do we have a problem? And I think you would not put any energy or time in something, in a problem, to solve it if you do not understand the problem. And I think this picture here illustrates quite well why we do have a problem, because modern encryption or algorithm rely on hard mathematical problems, which go in one way. When I look around, all of you should have this one day at home, or had, you will not have it at home anymore, a telephone book. When I say, I give you my name, easy to find my number. Ah yeah, they have it already still at home. So I give you my name, you will find my number. I give you my number, quite difficult, but like this, it works in encryption, and this will not be any longer secure. Quantum will be able to break it. This is not quantum, this is the cooling on the quantum, but this is the threat what we see. And now you can say, why do we have this problem already today? Because according to us, quantum computing, we think quantum computing do today not exist. Nevertheless, this what we see here is, we have massives of secure data, of protected data, and what you can say is, I collect this data today, I store it in a huge data center. This is not, NSA is not the official name for nation state AIDAQ, it's for National Security Authority or Agency in the United States. I collect them, and then I use them, I attack them at the moment where I'm able to do it. That means the problem we have already today, and for this we cannot close our eyes. All depends on the so-called shelf time. Shelf time is the time that you have an obligation to keep data secret, protected. Think about military, think about secret services. Now you can think, far away from me, but I think this illustrates it's not so far away from us, because it will attack, it can attack all modern communication and critical infrastructure, thinking about the banking sector, thinking about the energy sector, but also our e-commerce. It will affect all kinds of modern communication and critical infrastructure, and not only military governments. The question is, what can we do against it? We have two different approaches. On one side, you see the post-quantum cryptography. That would mean we make the mathematical, let's say, problems harder, more difficult. Work on this is one approach. Another approach on the right side is the quantum key distribution, QKD, which would mean beat the quantum threat with quantum. These are the two different approaches. You see already a little bit in which direction we are going. You see already a way where to go. The thing is, where are we today with PQC? This refers now to PQC only, the one that we have seen on the left side. There we are already quite far in the progress. Based on it, you see the National Institute of Standards and Technologies, after long and intensive discussions, we have today common algorithm, let's say a common language on what we go further, which is a big achievement, and therefore is a standardized PQC solution today, when we speak about PQC, already available. In QKD, you see a strong statement from EU. why I take here EU, go to EU. EU is my business at the end. This is where I know best what I'm doing. I'm working with European institutions. And what you see here is a source, which is the official source of the European Commission. 27 EU member states have signed a common declaration. This is an extremely strong statement in Europe where they say, we commit to develop a Euro QCI, a Europe quantum communication infrastructure. That would mean a deployment of a quantum network in all member states, nationally wise. On the other side, it must go over cross-border connections. Communication does not stop at the borders. Plus, you need the development of quantum network elements. Important in Europe, we have to think about what we hear in these times all the time, sovereignty. This is pure Europe, and there are a lot of programs launched, and how important it is for the European Commission or the European Union to see in the fact that Euro QCI is part of IRIS². When you have already heard from IRIS² is, let's say, secure, in simple words, secure communication in Europe. Not only terrestrial, it is also integrate satellites. Here you can see some examples how it is QKD in Europe. On the one side, we started, when I said a few years ago, it would not have been me who is there, in the labs, started the development, started the researches, but you see it also with the flags all over Europe, quite strong in Spain, Telefonica. You have in France, an orange. You have it all over Europe, and then it went out from the labs and make the first test tracks, you can say. Shorter distances have been built as the tests. You see Bratislava, St. Pölten, 250 kilometers, for example. Poznan, Warsaw, 380. These are the test tracks. Now you have something, we are here today in Berlin. For some of you, for a lot of you, well known, we have a long quantum backbone from Berlin to Bonn, already 608 kilometers. And this is now already a quantum environment. This is already a network which is functioning, which includes also the network monitoring of the components. That would mean this, what we see here, is a real network. What is missing today, and what we not have, is customers on it today. Little bit going outside of Europe. Europe is not the front runner in the world. We have countries where it's further developed, and this you can see here when we talk about South Korea. There already took place a certification of a quantum network component. That would mean the trust of the national authority is there to say, yes, we believe that it is secure enough, or we are convinced. We are convinced the security is there, that our secrets are protected, and therefore the certification took place. What needs to be done when we come back now to Europe? I think this is a slide which I find a super slide. I'm absolutely find this slide makes very clear the situation. I shared this slide 2 months ago in the European Parliament, just to demonstrate where we are, what needs to be done. We start on the bottom, and on the bottom you can see this is a situation today, and let's say we do not do anything. We do not do anything is, you can call it however you want to. If you call it Y2Q, if you call it the D-Day, if you call it the Q-Day, you can say whatever you want in your language. There comes a day where quantum computing will be able to break the encryption. That is for sure. That is the most unsafe way what we can do. Because the store now, attack later, will not stop. What is the next thing is the PQC. Remember what I showed, the left side approach. That means you buy already, or we buy already today time, that we say we have a solution, and with this solution, we say today, we can postpone this Q-Day. It might come here. I say now, it might come. We do not know. And there's a question when you think about my first slide, where we said we are talking here as a topic digital sovereignty and security, I make the statement now to say it is not a good advisor to build this on hope and to say here we hope that this day will not come. Therefore, I say very strong, QKD is the only solution when we talk about digital sovereignty and security in Europe. And therefore would I say also, quantum safety is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Having said this, I hope that this was a statement strong enough to have some interesting discussions today. I thank you very, very much, and I hope with this opening setting the seeds for some good discussions. Thank you.
For your interesting talk. Are there any questions from the audience? Yes.
When it's too technical, here's my man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for this really exciting talk and keynote. I'm Tobias Meng from Jos Quantum. I have a question on the certification side of things for QKD. What's your perspective on it for timelines in Europe? Do you have any intuition there? And also maybe about sort of a dual track thing with more pragmatic approaches that don't involve full-scale BSI certification?
I said already that we are working on projects. This is not a Magenta show here, it's not a Telekom show here, so I try to stay as neutral as possible. You cannot see this on me, but I try to do this. We are working already on projects, and we are today with our partners in Europe, with strong partners, we're working on different projects together with the European Commission, and we are building today in a lab already, let's say, the infrastructure that it can be certified. The program foresees also that as soon as it is built in the labo, it will be transferred to our customer, let's say customer European Commission. It will be done by the GRC, you know the GRC, the Joint Research Center of Europe, and there it will be ready to be certified. There is a clear program, there is a clear plan, let's say, from Europe. I'm responsible for business. For me, it's quite difficult, and I'm currently in a situation where I have not a product what I can sell, but there is a clear line to go there, and the certification, it will be ready for certification. Whoever, I would say, will certify it, where we have different possibilities. We have the national authorities for certified. We cannot do it on a European level, but it will be at Europe ready, and I in permanent communication with the directors, general directors. One general director with Roberto Viola will be here today also, in the way that we say we have to push it and we need a certification. And Europe said to me, we will be the first customer on it to give the trust and to say, yes, this is to give the sign, to setting the scenes, let's say it like this. This is what we are in alignment.
Thank you.
We have a second question.
Thank you. Thanks very much for a very interesting talk and to show an integrated view to securing the networks for future, both from the PQC side as well as the QKD. So my name is Praveer Chaudhary from the Joint Research Center of the Commission, and I can confirm that we are setting up a laboratory for the testing of the the QKD devices. My question was on the PQC side, the post-quantum cryptography. As you would know, the algorithms have been already approved for the adoption. How many websites would you know in Germany, let's say, who already have implemented PQC on their access?
Nothing. Nothing.
Okay, so this is something I think we should try and expand the message.
And it was also a clear message. I say we do not make that one side or the other side. For us, it's important to say we need a hybrid approach, a hybrid one. It is also clear quantum will not be able to, is not made for each and everybody. This we are clear. Quantum is expensive. The question is how much would we allow to expand? But at the end, we will have both in parallel to each other. This, I think, is the right approach.
Are there any other questions? Yes, one last question.
I've given 5 minutes for questions.
So we have three, if I remember rightly, three algorithms from the NIST currently that have been approved. Are there a number of other algorithms that are being investigated for post-quantum cryptography? And are we going to see anybody resolve around some standard like we have the RSA algorithm for usual cryptography?
This is your statement. Yeah, you can speak about it because you are the deeper knowledge there.
Yes, there are more algorithms under exploration. BSI is recommending a different one than those that have been shown here, though that is very, say, American, not influence. There's a certain weight on certain sub-genres of algorithms. There are different trends. You can use group theory, you can lattices, you can use isogenies. There's a lot of things in different directions. The underlying challenge is always to find these ways where you have these trapdoor functions somehow at your disposal to hide your secret somewhere and to gain a little advantage for the purposeful receiver and not for the attacker. So there are different flavors around there. Those three that we have shown here, the fifth one, are those that have been properly assessed. In my opinion, not yet. So we are missing decades of postdocs who try to get a name by breaking some things. A lot of these finalists have already been broken along the way during this competition. And yeah, coming back to your actual question, there are other algorithms out there, and the different BSIs, the different ANSIs, the different NSAs have kind of different opinions about that. But I think there will be a session later on that topic, and there's even a representative of BSI. So I guess that they will go into more detail in that.
We have time for one more question. Yes.
Thanks a lot for your talk. Could you elaborate a bit more on your criticism of post-quantum cryptography and the potential Q2 date which might come? Because it was confusing to me.
No, it should not be. Yeah, go on.
Apart from that, anything, even QKD, which we implement now, might be subject to be forced in the future because things can come up which we don't foresee. That's the whole point of things being forced in the future. I don't understand structurally why you're worried or what you're worried about. Thank you.
I think it's a misunderstanding from the criticism. This I do not want to say. I say there are two approaches and we should follow both. I think this is quite important. But I think we cannot count on PQC only. We need the QKD also. And I think we could go in this parallel world. This is it. Without criticizing the left or the right, we need both. In the one, we are much more advanced. That means we can postpone our Q day, but we need the other not to risk the critical infrastructure. And when I speak about critical infrastructure, we on our own have critical infrastructure. But that means also when I see it, for example, I'm responsible today for the network in Europe with the European Commission. This is the border protection. This is a network with high critical. What this means is it's high secure, and there I cannot build my future on PQC together with Europe, so I need a second one where I have the safety. And there I would say we need both. I do not want to criticize the one. I think we need both. This should be the statement.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniela, for your interesting talk.